Welcome back, everyone, to another Eat Speed podcast, the most delicious podcast in the Metroplex. I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.
We are going to talk more barbecue today, Steve, because we have a special guest. We have, one of the royal family of Texas restaurateurs is here, Larry Lavine. Once upon a time, he started a little restaurant company named Chili's. Now he's in the barbecue business. He's going to tell us all about it. Larry, welcome to the Eat Speed podcast.
Thank you. Enjoy being here.
Loop 9 Barbecue is still in the finishing stages in Grand Prairie. It's not open yet. Don't go yet, but go about the middle of March to Loop 9 Barbecue. It's on the Bush near Chicken and Pickle. That means something to a lot of people if you know anything about the chicken and pickle. So, Larry, tell us about Loop 9 Barbecue. Well, we have Larry's photo, but we don't have Larry, Steve.
Yeah, Larry. Well, I mean,
well, what Larry was saying was that he's worked on, he's developed this new restaurant in that really developing area, Grand Prairie, along the Bush, and it's kind of along the Arlington Grand Prairie border by the pickleball restaurant that's over there. And he's been working on barbecue restaurants for several years. And I hope he'll call back in and talk to us here. Steve, when Larry started working on barbecue, he wanted to be as good as Franklin. He started 1050, and now this is kind of in Richardson, and this is his new venture. Well, we need to see if Larry comes back. Steve, we can talk about Valentine's Day. Where'd you go for Valentine's Day?
Let's see. Well, we went to the 61 with Asteria. Is that
you went to 61? I went to 61.
Well, we went there a couple of days.
We did not go together. I want to make it clear. We did not go out together.
We went a couple of days early. We didn't actually go on Valentine's Day. So.
Well, 61 is really great, and I know that Adam came and talked to us about opening it last year, and it's 61 is on West 7th and facing Burnett Park. It's the new Italian restaurant that he's opened there. It's open now for lunch and dinner and Saturday lunch, and we'll be adding a Sunday lunch in the middle of March. So I think that 61, and you remember when we had him on, Adam and I discussed whether to call it Osteria. We just call it 61. Everyone calls it 61. So
yeah,
I think the Serpenti pasta was the best dish, and
that's the one that looks like a snake and has ricotta cheese and lemon preserves and mushrooms.
Oh, that was the one you liked too. Okay.
Yeah. We Susan had that.
Yeah, I think the Serpenti was the big hit, and also the fennel sausage and white bean soup was really exceptionally good. So
those. Susan had a let's say like a salad, a bib lettuce salad, and she said that was the best salad she ever had.
Really? Okay. I had the Caesar, and it was just an okay Caesar, and then they had an interesting interesting dessert that was like tiramisu in a bowl for two. It was like a whole bowl full of tiramisu. That was really good, really soaked, really good. So
we had the gelato.
Yeah, and we had the gelato too. So and the gelato was good, but that Serpente I think is one of the real highlights on the menu. So I think Adam's off to a good start. And then we have Quince will be opening up in March or April, and somewhere along in there, Loop 9 Barbecue will be opening up if Larry will come back in. Gosh, Steve, I wanted to ask him what he orders at Chili's these days.
Yeah, I know. I mean, how long ago was Chili's? He started that. How many years ago was that?
He started Chili's in the late 70s, I'm pretty sure. I went to the first one out on North Central Expressway when it opened. That's going to tell you how far back I go. And I think it was, back in that 77, 78 time frame. Oh, I think maybe we have.
I'll see Larry.
I hear a voice. Yeah. Larry, are you there?
Okay.
Are you there?
So I guess we shouldn't apply for the IT department at the station. Is that right?
Can you even hear us?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us what you've got at Loop 9 Barbecue. People are already calling in their orders, I see.
Good. Well, we think we're in the category of premium barbecue, which means you buy prime brisket and artisanal pork, and everything's made in-house and from scratch. And we're try to be at the top level of barbecue. Now,
you've tried to do the barbecue business for a while. You started out with 1050 almost 10 years ago, and you've kind of refined it. At one point, you were going to have a 1050 in Grapevine, but that didn't work out. Kind of tell us the ins and outs of your career in barbecue.
Well, a friend asked me to do a barbecue restaurant with him, and we decided we either wanted to be on the toll road, Dallas Toll Road, or on Central Expressway. So the building was available on Central Expressway, and we went about designing and building the building. And I spent a year or two learning about barbecue and sacrificing a lot of cows and pigs to learn how to do barbecue.
So what did you work on first, and what do you feel like you're doing the best? It looks to me like and you'll talk about this in just a minute too. It looks to me like your pies may be as big a deal as a barbecue, but tell us about what you've got.
I like to say we try to make everything as complicated as we can. The first thing on a barbecue restaurant is you got to have a great brisket, and we buy the best prime brisket we can, cook it on an all wood fire, and respect it, and try to not abuse it, and serve a great product. And most barbecue restaurants have some kind of dessert. We're very serious about desserts and have a lot of great homemade pies and later cheesecakes. So we think they're very special.
And where do you fit into the market here in the Metroplex? So we've got Terry Blacks has bought a Fort Worth place now. He's in Dallas and Fort Worth. Pecan Lodge has been around for a while. Lockhart, you're kind of between two Lockhart stores. Where do you think you fit into the market?
Yeah, I think you're accurate on the category we think we're in with Pecan Lodge and Terry Blacks and the others you mentioned. That's the category we're in. There's a lot of mid-price, middle-of-the-road barbecue houses that do a great job, but we think we're in that category of the restaurants you named that are dealing in prime barbecue and artisanal pork products.
Is this a 7-day-a-week lunch and dinner restaurant,
yes,
or is it a just open until the meat runs out restaurant?
No, it's a 7-day-a-week lunch and dinner.
Okay. Steve, what do you see there? What would you like to ask?
When I was looking at the meats, I did see you had beef ribs. I mean, and that's, something that I was curious, because beef is so expensive right now. Are y'all going to be doing that all the time, or is that like occasionally, or?
Yeah, we'll have a weekly special. We haven't decided which. One day of the week we'll have the beef ribs. It's almost like eating a prime rib. The kind of sad situation is they're very expensive, and because you're dealing with a very expensive cut of meat, so they could be $30 or $40 because they weigh so much. So, but we will have it as a special from time to time for people that want to have a special occasion with barbecue.
Also, is it like a la carte, or do you have like plate lunches too?
No, it's all a la carte. We sell it by the pound.
By the pound, okay.
And what are the pies again?
Well, we're going to start out with a banana pudding, a key lime, then a chocolate pie and a coconut pie. And then later we'll be adding fruit pies and cheesecakes. As you're seeing a picture there of the pie shop where we'll sell pies and also be the to-go area for the restaurant. If you order barbecue, you want to come pick it up, you'll come in a separate door where the pie shop is.
Now, what all are the dining options in that development? I believe you described this as being behind the pickleball out there.
That's correct.
For people who haven't found their way to the bush, tell us what all's out there.
Well, next, you pass by the Grand Prairie Police and Jail system, and I suggest you pass by that. And, you turn in the Epic Central, which is right behind pickleball, as you talked about. And there's Loop 9, and next to us is a concept called the Finch, which they have some multiple locations in Dallas. Next to that's another one of the Milkshake Productions concepts called Fedora. And next door to that is a burger pizza concept, Serious Pizza concept. And then slightly just south of pickleball, they're going to do a breakfast concept and then I believe a sushi concept. So nobody's going to starve in this complex.
Well, it sounds like as soon as you get out of the Grand Prairie Jail, you'll be able to get a good meal.
Absolutely. We want the first meal to be a good one for you. That's right.
Did you ever dream you'd be going on the air to talk about your new grand opening in Grand Prairie?
No, this is the first time, so I'm having a lot of fun. Thank you.
Well, talk a little bit about your history for those who aren't familiar with what you did last century that was a big deal. It was kind of part of the great the great outbreak of corporate restaurants that started in Dallas, where there was Bennigan's Steak and Ale and Chili's, and
That's right.
just the all the great traditions. Talk about where you fit in and what you started, what you were doing back then.
Well, two childhood friends and I had the idea for a concept of just a very simple burger concept, trying to make a great hamburger and fresh fries. And the only drink we could think we could sell you would be a margarita. So we picked that. And we were early on the curve for casual restaurants. At the time, there were a few Fridays and Steak and Ales, as you mentioned, but it was mostly you'd either go to a cafe or white tablecloth restaurants. So that we were on the early curve of casual dining, and our goal was to create a place that our backstory that we had was we wanted be the place exciting enough that you could bring a first date there. So we had comfortable booths and night lighting and fun jukebox and very friendly servers, very simple, high quality menu. And we were fortunate it caught on, and now there's 1,600 of them.
What do you, when you are somewhere and you wind up going to a Chili's for some reason at the airport or wherever, what do you order? What do you think is still a go-to order at Chili's?
They still do. They have refocused on the hamburger, and it's back to pretty good quality right now. They're doing a good job with the hamburger, and if you ask them, they'll make you a chili cheeseburger, and that's usually what I get, which I probably had a few hundred of those.
Chili was a big deal back then, and chili's still kind of evolved, but it's still a good order.
Yeah, when we put chili on the menu initially, I'd been involved with the chili cook-offs in Terlingua with Carol Shelby, and we put chili on the menu. We didn't really think we'd sell a lot of it, but we thought it was something that people talk about. They'll talk about where they like barbecue, and they'll talk about chili. They don't talk about where they got their last meatball sandwich. And the interesting thing about chili and barbecue, if you ask 10 people about their idea for the right chili or barbecue, you'll get 10 different answers, and theirs is the only answer. So we put chili on to have something to talk about in the newspaper and the press. And it caught on. We wound up selling a lot of chili, but we really didn't. That was not the intention when we did it.
And it was about at the same time as Tolbert's opened his restaurant, and of course they still have a restaurant in Grapevine. Kathleen does.
Yeah, we were. I don't know. We were years ahead of them. They opened after we did.
Okay, it was the chili tradition was out there, but then they decided to open their restaurant too. So.
And Chili's has refocused and tried to go back to the original recipe that we had, and they've gotten pretty close. So a chili cheeseburger is something, if somebody wants to live something out of the past, they still do a good job with that.
It's still something there. Well, nowadays, when people talk about Chili's, it's considered the mom and dad's restaurant. It's where the parents took you. And so the young people are looking for something a little different or a little more special. Is that what you're trying to bring them here with a barbecue concept?
Well, in Dallas, there'll never be too many barbecue restaurants, and there'll never be too many Tex-Mex restaurants. And the public can eat an enormous amount of that in the Metroplex. So, we think if we do a good job, that we've got a chance to break into the market, certainly in this area, and bring a premium barbecue house here.
Steve, what do you see going on right now? It looks to me like in order to have a good barbecue restaurant, you have to have a feud with your brother or something. You got the Blacks are feuding, and now the Hutchins are feuding. Larry, do you have a feud going with anybody?
Not that I'm going to talk about. No, we don't have a feud going with anybody.
Steve, what do you see as the trend right now in barbecue? What do you see happening?
Well, I'm at I think it's kind of getting more towards West Texas barbecue. Kind of is the flavor that I'm tasting more around here.
The Mexique.
Yeah, Mexique is good. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with barbecue right now.
Now someone's trying to order a barbecue at my house, I think. So. Sorry about that. We're having our luck today, aren't we? Maybe we just ought to throw up more pictures of barbecue.
Yeah, I was going to see what we had here, and it seems like they have is that like a bar? A bar here?
It's a big bar, full service bar that you see when you walk in, and then that other picture will show you a counter where you step up and order right there. You step up and order the meat from a cashier. She calls out to the barbecue cutter. He cuts the meat to whatever quantity you want, and she hands it back to you on a tray, and you sit down and serve yourself a drink and sit at the table.
And
Well, originally, go ahead.
How the
Steve.
trays all are set up, right? You have looks like what sides and stuff are you doing?
I have home potato salad, coleslaw, Mexican elote corn and beans. And then we have fresh French fries and onion rings and fried okra.
Looks like you have something wrapped in bacon over there.
Yeah, we have jalapeno, cheese stuffed jalapenos wrapped in bacon. They're kind of addictive.
Sounds good.
Larry, when you started, you were trying to compare yourself to Franklin and say you wanted to uphold that kind of quality. But where do you think barbecue's gone since then? What do you see as kind of the evolution of barbecue since we started all this craft barbecue movement in Texas?
Well, I think it's, it appeals to a slightly different customer than the average middle of the road barbecue. I mean, we have a lot of, hundreds of them in the Metroplex, but when you get in the premium market, that like I said before, that means prime brisket. And the interesting thing about that premium barbecue market, and Terry Black's is a good example. I enjoy Terry Black's. I think they do a great job. They're one of the places that do a great job, that and Cadillac and Pecan Lodge. And I kid in that if you go to Terry Black's and your check average is $40, you've cheated them. I mean, it's very easy to spend $45 or $50 on a premium barbecue because people tend to order and their eyes are bigger than their stomach. The good thing about barbecue is it's easy to order too much, but if you order too much, you can take it home and eat it the next day and still have a good product. If you did that with fried shrimp or something, it's not going to be good the next day. So people tend to order too much, but they can take it with them. We make it easy for them to take some home and have it the next day, and people don't hold that against us.
And then so people are clear, I mean, Grand Prairie's got the little place called Zavala's that's, we won a lot of prizes and awards. And, what you're doing is really pretty different as far as size and scale of what they do.
Yeah, he's a nice guy in a charming little place and serves some great, reliable barbecue. But we're trying to do a little different spin on that, much bigger operation than his operation. But
Larry, when do you think? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say he does a great job for what he's doing.
When do you think you'll be open?
March 6th is our opening.
Steve, go ahead.
Let's see. Do you have any sausage?
We do have sausage from Myers Sausage Company in Elgin, Texas. They've been making it 100 years, and they have a special blend they make for us. That's the one thing we buy from outside is the sausage, and we make everything else in-house.
I really like sausage. So is it any jalapeno or cheese?
Yeah, we have a plain and then a jalapeno cheddar.
Okay, I want the jalapeno cheddar.
Well, we'll have it for you.
Yeah, and they are. That's a good sausage company, and then Syracuse up here in Ponder's good, and
yes, they do.
We've got a lot of good sausage companies here.
Yeah.
Now, anything else we need to know? So you take the Bush, and you take what exit? Give us the directions for everybody who can't get the app to work.
It's the Arkansas exit, and then you go one more exit, and you'll see a big sign that says Epic Central, and you turn in. When you turn in, you can go to the left, go to pickleball, you go straight, and you go to all the restaurants. So we're really excited to get open and be able to show the world what we're doing.
And we're talking about Loop 9 Barbecue, and you'll be open around spring break, it sounds like. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, and we're looking forward to that.
All right. Well, Larry Lavine gave the world Chili's and now is bringing the Loop 9 Barbecue to Grand Prairie. Can you open more Loop 9s, or what do you plan to do with the concept?
Yeah, once we get this one settled in, we plan to do some more stores, yes.
And what other locations, anything else in the Metroplex?
We haven't looked yet. That's too early to look.
Okay.
In the Metroplex, if you have a location, you be prepared to sign a lease tomorrow because it's very competitive. So we're really going to wait till we're ready to start looking for a location.
Yeah, I think I can point to people to about one part of Tarrant County that doesn't have a craft barbecue restaurant planned or underway yet. I think maybe out toward Eagle Mountain Lake they don't have anything, but otherwise everybody's either got something already or got something on the map for since Fort Worth made the barbecue capital in the last Daniel Vaughn Texas Monthly ratings. Everybody wants to move into the market.
That's good. Well, the more the merrier. Barbecue's not going to go out of fashion, so we love that.
All right. Well, come on. We'll look forward to seeing you on the bush somewhere around spring break. Larry Lavine gave the world Chili's and now gives the world Loop 9 barbecue. Steve, any more thoughts?
Well, one thing you said, more to merrier. That's every time I talk to somebody that's in the barbecue business, that's what they say. More to merrier. They're very open to other people doing barbecue.
Yeah, the Hurtado loves seeing Panther City, and they love seeing, Smokeaholics. Everybody is, there's a great deal of camaraderie in the barbecue
That's
world.
right. Good.
So, good to have you. I'll be over for pie. Thank you very much,
All right,
Larry,
good.
for being our
Enjoyed it.
guest
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you on the 8 Speed Podcast. Until next time, I'm Bud Kennedy.
And Steve Wilson.